grown tremendously just from beginning to end. Coming off those 2 losses, it was very disappointing. But that group as a whole and the vets in the room leading that team, leading that group and becoming the best they can be and allowing us to be successful in the run game is amazing. But all in all, I just seen them growing as a whole group and working on their first steps, working on their technique just to be able to get to those guys and make sure we have open holes and open lanes to run through.
This could come down to which run game is better.
Yes.
And that's in your hands in some ways.
Yes.
Is that what you want?
It is what I want. Hopefully the run game is successful. I go into each and every game hoping the run game is successful. I know the guys up front get the job done, and I know those guys on the opposite side have a heavy front seven, and we just have to do a good job and making sure we're getting our double teams, making sure we're getting in front of guys, reaching guys to be able to have a successful run game. I know going into this game is going to be a tough sledding game because their defense is so strong up front and they're so heavy on the D-line. So I know it's going to be tough sledding. I'm going to have to get in there and get extra yards. And our defense has a tough task too. They have a good offensive line and an extraordinary running back there as well that can get the job done. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for us, and we're going to be ready for it.
The national media, I guess, probably isn't giving you guys much respect. It seems like, there's more focus, way more on Michigan. I know it's looking at you like that. But, I mean, it seems like you guys thrive on that every single year, whether it gets to this point. Do you like that? Do you like being that underdog, that chip on your shoulder?
Yes, it definitely is. It's definitely good to know that they underestimate us. We worked hard to be able to be noticed, and for people just to throw in our face and not respect us at all, it definitely puts us a chip on our shoulder and motivates us to go out there and compete our best against one of the top 2 teams in the nation and potential playoff team. So we're looking forward to the competition, and we're looking forward to show the world that we can get the job done.
You were laughing when he was asking that question. Yes. You're just used to it, aren't you?
Yes, we're used to it. This team has always seemed to be the underdog. Don't know why. We always have a winning record from ever since I've been here and a couple years before me. But it is what it is. It's what comes with the game. But this team just does a good job blocking out the noise and not paying attention to what other people say about this team. We're only focused on what's going on in here, and we know what we can do in here.
Yeah, obviously they have a lot of good players. They come ready physically. They're very good blockers. Have a tough O-line, have tough tight ends blocking for them. Wide receivers block good on the edge, and of course they have a great running back room. So they're just a good team all around, and we just saw a lot of physicality out of them this past game.
You guys like physical play, so is this a matchup that you guys kind of like? It's kind of mano-a-mano physical styles against each other?
Yeah. Obviously, when you think of Iowa, you think of physicality. So I feel like that really fits like right in our wheelhouse. Just going in there, just being a more physical team, and that's what we pride ourselves on.
What do you when see all these coaches moving around college football right now? I mean, have you ever worried about Kirk Ferentz leaving?
No, of course not. Yeah, that's the thing. Like many of us probably take for granted, just coming in every day and knowing that our coaches most likely aren't going anywhere. Like we have a pretty stable foundation. Most people have been here for many years. So I mean, there is a comfortability in it, knowing that your coach is going to be here.
Does having Phil Parker in your corner going into this game is that a pretty good feeling, I guess, knowing that you have a good game plan for you?
Yeah, of course. Always having Coach Parker in our corner is a great thing. He's one of the smartest minds in football. Each and every week, just putting us in the best position, giving us a game plan that we can go out there and execute. And this week is no different. He's been giving us the plan, and we just have to go out and execute it.
How much 4-3 do you expect? I mean, they run a lot out of 11 personnel, so I'm not sure what that means for you.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see when we get in the game what type of game it is, if they're in 11, 12 personnel or whatnot. So it's really, they'll dictate it. Not too sure right now.
Okay. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate it. You mentioned not wearing flashy uniforms, but I did hear you're going to be wearing the all blacks this week. Can you rank power rankings your favorite uniforms?
I would say the black ones, all black, would definitely be number one. I would say our away jerseys, I would say number two. I don't know. I just kind of like the white and yellow. That kind of goes good together. I would say my third favorite since I've been here, probably the all yellow jerseys. And think the fourth would just be our like home jersey. I'd say.
Okay. And how much do you know about the 2015 team and the last time this team was in a Big Ten title?
I mean, I really don't know much about that team. I mean, I know they were a really good team. Obviously, coming in undefeated and whatnot. So they were a great team. They didn't get the win that we'll be trying to work for this week, but I know it was another great team.
Yeah. And then lastly, just on the run game, what specifically does Michigan do to get that going?
They're just a big physical team up front. They get after the defense, they have good fundamentals, gain leverage and whatnot. So I think they're just a tough team. They know what they want to do, and if they want to run, they're going to line up and just run right at you.
Thank you.
You know guys on Michigan team?
Yeah, a couple. I play with a couple. Rod Moore, the safety, freshman safety. I play with him, and my DM buddy, Gabe Newberg. Unfortunately, he's injured right now, but yeah. And then I played against Eric All in high school for a couple years, so a couple familiar faces over there.
What's the family atmosphere like? I mean, being from having some family from here in Michigan and everything like that, is you have to pull their arm to put on some Iowa gear this weekend, or is it?
No. I'll say family is all in for Iowa. I don't have to beg them too much. They know what side to be on. So I mean, it's good to have a supportive family like that. But my past coach is a little bit more neutral, having players on both sides.
What about the awe of getting to play, kind of in an NFL stadium? How to use a player. Do you have the moment of, oh my God, this is awesome, and then kill it, or what's that like? Going in, Saturday for this game.
I mean, it's definitely exciting, especially like just remembering as a kid, like going to watch one of the Big Ten championships there. I watched Ohio State versus Wisconsin one year, so I mean, it's just exciting just looking back. Like, dang, I was a kid then. Probably just hoping that I would be able to play in a game like this, play in a stadium like this, and now I'm actually doing it. So, I mean, it's really just a dream come true, and it'll be an exciting moment for sure.
Oh, God, yeah.
Riley Moss was just named the Big Ten Defensive Back of the Year. I guess, what is it like for you as his teammate to see him receive an honor like that?
It's incredible. He's so deserving of that award. He's put in the work. I couldn't be more proud of him as not only a teammate but a friend as well. And he deserved that award. He played his butt off this year, and it's just great to see him get some recognition for it.
Seems like you knew. Did you already know?
Yeah, Coach Ferentz told us after practice. So I wasn't expecting it that heavily, but yeah, he told us before practice or after practice. So it was awesome.
What is it about Iowa defensive backs and that award? I mean, there's been a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of that credit's got to go to Coach Parker. I mean, just the way that he coaches us and the things that he deems important and makes us deem important is kind of what leads to success. Playing zone defense, having your eyes on the ball, getting turnovers, and limiting big plays has obviously been our recipe for success. And the guys that buy into that, they seem to find success as well.
How does that all factor in when you're playing Michigan? I mean, a pretty potent offense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's obviously going to start up front, stopping the run. That's kind of their game plan. They want to establish a good, strong run game, just like they did against Ohio State, and hopefully that will open up some things in the pass game for them. So if we can stop the run, put them in uncomfortable third down situations, get them throwing the ball in situations where they don't want to be throwing the ball, then obviously that's going to be pretty good for us.
What's the preparation like with the two quarterback system they use? I know one plays a lot more than the other, but you have to deal with two.
Yeah, obviously 12, he's throwing the ball. He's their more every down type of guy. And, when 9 gets in there, he's a little bit more of a run threat. So we definitely just got to pay attention to which guy's in and, how that changes their scheme based off which guy's in. So, yeah, like you said, the one guy plays a little bit more, but the 9's a little bit more of a runner.
What do you think of their run game and Haskins? He's a guy who just seems like falls forward all the time in the run game, always getting an extra couple of yards.
Yeah, he's a great back. He looks like he's tough to tackle. So it's going to take a lot of guys running into the ball, leverage, gang tackling, and just playing sound in our gaps. And that's going to be what it takes to get him down.
think your dad tweeted out a video that kind of went viral in Iowa. I mean, what did that kind of moment mean to you when you finally had the ticket punch? You guys were going for the Big Ten title.
Yeah, that was an awesome experience. Yeah, obviously my family, I had a lot of family from out of town. Riley Moss's family over. We had a few other guys on the team over, and we were watching the Michigan-Ohio State game and then watching Minnesota. And yeah, it was just a great experience. I was at my house in 2015 watching the Big Ten championship game. So as a fan, just being able to go back to the Big Ten championship, and then obviously as a player, it's a pretty special feeling. And obviously it was shown in that video.
Did you guys practice your rowing?
No, I think that was spur of the moment, and I got to give some credit to Mr. Mark Moss on that one. He really was the front of the ship on that one, and it was a great night for sure.
What did it take to get to this point? I mean, because you guys lost the 2 games, kind of put yourself, back behind everybody. What did it take to get to this point?
Just never being discouraged. We lost those 2 games. A lot of people were pretty low on us. Saying we were overrated, things of that nature. But we knew who we were. We knew our identity as a team, and we know that those 2 losses didn't define us. So the only thing that we could do from that point on was keep winning games, regardless of how much we were supposed to win or supposed to lose by. At the end of the day, it's just about winning football games, and that's what we've been trying to do week in and week out, and it's obviously what we're going to try to do this Saturday as well.
How was Kirk when you're riding high, 6-0, ranked 2 in the country? How was he after you lost those games, and what was he like, in this 4 games spread here?
I mean, I think he's the same guy. He has so much experience that, he's not going to switch up depending on if we're winning games, losing games. He preaches the same things if we're 6-0, and he preaches the same things if we're 0-2. So and that's what you obviously want in a coach. You don't want a coach to get too high or too low, and, he's focused on just improving each day, improving each week, and, yeah, that's kind of his mentality.
You've had to deal with that somewhat. You had a couple, even 2 years ago, you had a disappointment, really close loss at Wisconsin, and then came back, beat Minnesota, if I remember right. Last year, 0-2 start, all the off-season stuff. How has he approached that? And it's obvious the results speak for themselves.
Yeah, obviously we're in Big Ten football, so you're gonna lose some games. And I think the biggest thing for him is just not letting 1 loss turn into 2 losses turn into 3. Just try to obviously the 24-hour rule is kind of something that he's big on. Move on from it, learn from the tape, win or loss, and then learn what you can do for the next week and not let it carry over.
How does he do that? I mean, what's his approach like to you guys? So because it can very easily go up and down. We've seen a lot of teams be able to do that.
Yeah, like I said, he's just a steady guy. Fundamentals improvement, improvement driven. Not worrying about the outside noise, not worrying about what other people are saying, I think is the big thing. And, especially, it's big when you're losing, and it's also even bigger when you're winning. When we were 6-0, he's preaching, don't listen to outside noise, number 2 in the country. Doesn't mean a whole lot. It can mean a lot maybe when you're 10-0, 11-0, getting closer. That stuff doesn't matter until the end of the season and until there's not games left to play. So,
do you embrace being an underdog, considering that most of the kind of outside noise has Michigan favored pretty heavily?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people have us winning this next game. I think a lot of people think we shouldn't even show up. So that's a little chip on our shoulder, and we know that a lot of people are doubting us, and it's time to prove what Iowa football is, and how we play the game and how physical we're going to be.
Do you remember what you were doing in Solon High School in the winter of 2015, the last time Iowa was there?
Oh gosh. I was watching it at some friend's house, I think, family friends. Yeah, I don't remember much. That was a while ago. Obviously, I remember the Smith touchdown. That was crazy. You still see highlights of that. But yeah, just another opportunity for the Iowa Hawkeyes to go into Indy and get a chance to win a Big Ten title. So that's pretty special, and it doesn't happen often around here.
What do you think this means for Kirk? What this opportunity means for him?
Yeah, I think it's going to mean a lot. And obviously, players want to do it for the coaches as well. So, they put so much time into this program, so much hours that they've spent into us. it's gonna feel special if we end on top, and especially a guy like Coach Ferentz, who's poured in so much to us, been through a lot. It's gonna be awesome.
So how did you spend your Saturday? Were you glued to it like somewhere? Were you watching on your phone every so often? How did you take me through your Saturday?
Saturday, watching the Michigan-Ohio State game. I got my COVID booster shot, and then watched the Wisconsin-Minnesota game, and then I went and ate a salad and went to bed.
Your reaction, obviously, the excitement and getting into the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah, definitely excited. What an opportunity. it's going to be a lot of fun.
A lot of people, a lot of players we've been talking to say that you embrace the underdog role.
Yeah. I mean, we've kind of been the underdog all year, it feels like. Even when we were ranked number 2, there was still plenty of noise out there about, who we were and what we were doing. And I know I like being the underdog.
What do you see from them when you look on it?
Defensively, it all starts with, Aiden Hutchinson. Great player. Need to be aware of where he's at every play. But the rest of their defense, too, is tough, physical. They're well coached. Their secondary is athletic, really well coached. They like to put pressure on an offense, whether that's with their pass rush or in coverage, whatever it may be. And they're a good team. We gotta be ready.
What did the Nebraska game for you do? Did it help you confidence-wise? Obviously, you knew you could still play, but what did it do for you just to get your feet wet again?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of fun to get back out there. It's no one's goal is to be on the bench. It felt good to get back out there and just excited to compete on Saturday.
How did you prepare going into Friday, and then how are you preparing this week when it comes to your role?
Probably the same. At any given moment, any player can be on the field. Preparing like I was starting on Friday, and I'm preparing like I'm starting Saturday. So,
special teams have played such a huge role in the season.
I'd say every year seems to be huge for special teams. I mean, Miguel had some big kicks, Keith had big kicks, and every year, last year we had turnovers against Iowa State. I don't remember who else at home, but with Terry Roberts. But yeah, every game is huge. We give the offense the ball, or put points on the board, or pin guys deep for the defense. That's huge, and I think it always plays such an important role. And Coach Ferentz definitely says that in practice and shows that in film, and it shows our complementary football that we have.
You used to call it tight end U. Maybe they should change it to special teams U.
I'd argue so too, and I think we've had quite the line of specialists, even dating back to like Kading. So I've heard people talking about that, and they list off some names. There's some impressive guys on that list.
Not everybody gets to play in a championship game in their college career. Last one here was 6 years ago. What is this going to mean to this team and this program to get that opportunity?
I think it's huge. I think young guys getting we have such a young team too. Those guys will kind of experience this and kind of know what it takes and the process to get to that point. But it's also kind of huge just seeing all those 10 months of work that we put in all off season play out. It's not like we got close. I think last couple of years we've been pretty close. We lose a close game here or there would cost us, but kind of see it through. It's huge, and young guys can kind of know what the work it's going to take, and so that way it can hopefully happen.
The outside world's going to say you're big underdogs. Is that something you guys relish, play with a chip on your shoulder at all, or?
Yeah, I think we talk about it, but I think we know we got to go out there and play our best football. They played some great football against Ohio State last week, and so we know it's going to take a lot from offense, defense, and special teams. And I think that's just what we talk about. The line's a line, but I think if we play our best football, we'll give ourselves a chance.
Kicking indoors, what's your range?
That's a good question. I'd like to say it's closer to 58, 60. So, but you don't have to worry about wind, which is nice, and kind of makes warming up a lot easier. You can kind of eliminate some reps. You don't have to feel anything out. You just go out there, and test the range a little bit and get to it.
You've got teammates and former Hawkeyes who are deeply offended that you're not a Groza Award finalist. How do you feel about it?
I was actually, I was kind of surprised when I was on the semifinalist list. I didn't really think about that, but to be kind of mentioned in the conversation with guys like Ruggles and Moody and even like Nick Skiba and Burkich, those guys are incredibly good kickers. I've seen them outside of kicking on with like Jamie Coles and outside like that. But being mentioned in conversation with them is I think it's very rewarding, and I'm kind of very honored to be mentioned in that conversation. So.
Were you disappointed at all? You didn't make the final three?
No, I think our team goals were more important. I'd rather get the opportunity to play in a Big Ten championship, and we have the opportunity, and I'm way more excited to be doing that than sitting at home on championship week. So.
You guys weren't sure you had. What's this been really been like in practice, and how excited you guys are this week?
Yeah, obviously we're really appreciative of the opportunity. Just talking about how we deserve to be here and how
it's a 1 week season, and we just need to do the best to get prepared and go out and get ready to have the best game of our lives on Saturday night.
Take me through your Saturday then. Were you watching? Were you away and kind of checking in the game, or were you just glued to it?
Yeah, I probably should have just been checking on the game, but I was watching. It was a little nerve-wracking. Obviously, really happy with the result. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't expect it to happen that way going in. I was trying not to get too excited, but I was really excited by the end.
What do you guys know about Michigan? Obviously, a really good football team, and maybe a team kind of like you guys that I don't think people had penciled in here last week, and now has a great opportunity as well.
Yeah, just a really good football team. They're obviously well coached. Judging by the film, just looking at their offense, they like to run the ball, but they do have the skill on the outside to make some plays. So we're gonna have to be sound in every facet.
What has you kind of talked about practice and you guys being ready to go? Has there been an up-tempo? Caleb just talked about how everybody's more vocal or wants to be here and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, you're sick last week, most of you guys, but what has this week? Can you tell an energy around this place right now?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, we're going to go play in the Big Ten championship game. Energy's high. I like to think that it's not really any higher than it is during the season. I think our guys have done a great job all year coming out, especially on the scout team, just giving us great looks all year, and this week's been no different. So.
Did you grow up a Michigan fan?
No, I did not.
Are you being honest?
I am being honest. I actually wasn't really a fan of anyone. My dad grew up a Michigan fan, so I generally just rooted for whoever Michigan was playing that week, so it won't be too tough.
Zeeland, Michigan. How much Michigan gear do you see? Is that a Michigan town? Even though
I would say going to high school is about half Michigan State, half Michigan. Probably not too many Iowa fans out there.